Welcome back to We Care a Lot. I'm half the podcast, Sam.
I'm the other half, Mel.
Hey guys. We decided today would be the perfect time, because when is it not, to talk about cheating, infidelity. You know, it's our number one episode, so clearly it's what you guys want to hear about. So here we are to talk about it in a little more depth. Not our experience, which maybe that's why it's the number one episode.
I mean, maybe naturally we're just going to end up in there, you know?
But it's not going to be the story. It's not a story time. It's not story time we got cheated on like that episode is. And if you don't know, Mel and I have been cheated on multiple times. So if you want to know all the details, listen to that episode. But in this episode, we're kind of going to talk about just like some hard-hitting topics under the umbrella of cheating and our opinions on it. That's basically it.
I guess, like, to start the conversation, one of the bigger topics when talking about cheating is kind of the normalcy of it between genders.
What do you mean by between genders? Like
the differences, the difference of like what's socially acceptable for men versus for women. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's like saying. The tale as old as time. Like, a man can have a bunch of bitches, but the minute women have a bunch of men, you're a whore.
Yeah. And it's, I didn't even think of that. Like, how when men cheat, it's just like, ugh, back in their old ways.
Bro, it's
or,
all right.
Well, guys that way. But in general, people who don't, like, necessarily agree with cheating, it's like, ugh, he did it again. Or we're like, you know, why are you doing that? Like, there's so much empathy there. But when a woman cheats, it's like, oh,
like, she meant that. Yeah.
Wow, intentional, huh?
That is, yeah. I mean, and like, whatever. Some people can really get into it, and I can already hear the millions of voices like saying like, yeah, but women are emotional beings, and so if you want to cheat, it's because you really wanted to, versus a man just had, like, all those fucking stupid ass podcasts. I
mean, we can all
talk about
all
that.
Be bad people. We can all do bad things.
And I think that point is so stupid to me. Like, it's just, men are also emotional creatures. They're just not fucking. Some of them are not in tune to it. So it's like they're cheating because still of an emotional detachment. It's still emotions behind everything. Mm-hmm. So I think that's just like a silly argument. But yeah, I think that's a good point also of like, I didn't think about that. Like, about how women are seen as like more aggressive perpetrators when it's like
the cheater.
Mm-hmm. That's so fucked up. Yeah.
And for men, it is just kind of like, we're all feeling bad for them. And it's like, why don't you take him back? Like, you sure you don't want him back? It's like, yeah.
Like, maybe he won't do it again.
Like, no, I'm sure.
No,
like, he's clearly not good. Which, like, I think that should be the case for any gender. Like, if you cheated, there's every right for that person to not get back with you because you got some stuff to sort through. And maybe the cheating also was like, you were like, yeah, I shouldn't be with you.
Yeah, it's eye-opening like for side. Everybody.
Yes, for everybody. I hope.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not.
It could be eye-opening in the opposite way. And I could see how that could happen as well, though.
What do you mean the opposite way?
Like the perspective of, like, it was an actual mistake.
Right.
Listen, not to say that, like, I would accept it necessarily. But I can also see how...
It depends on the depth of cheating as well.
Right. If you have, like, a whole other life going on...
That's a decision.
You clearly wanted something else. But I'm talking about, like, a one-time thing that actually happened. And maybe after that, they realized, like, I just put this entire situation that I love in jeopardy over a fleeting moment, a fleeting feeling. You know what I mean? I feel like that can happen. Not to say that you have to stick around.
Yeah.
But I do think that that's what I'm
for
saying.
You,
like,
it's
it could
forgivable.
Be. It's eye-opening for everybody is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It can be.
I mean, so I've personally never cheated. So I don't have the perspective of being the cheater. Mm-hmm. But not to name names, we know people who have been on the cheating side.
Yeah, I also have not been a cheater.
Just not Mel. That's not who we know.
We're not saying like I know a friend. But yeah, I mean, like, and maybe I feel like it's not that fucking abnormal to have like friends who have cheated, or like, you know, maybe you're with a partner who's cheated, and there's a lot of insightful information there where like the reasons can vary so much. And not to say that cheating's okay, but I do think it's very like it's from situation to situation.
Yeah. It's not black and white. Oh.
Printer always has to say something.
The printer always jumps in. Sorry if you can hear the printer. The circumstances, right. So I feel like I'm like, when it comes to my friends, it's like totally different.
It's like they're really good people, and
but
actually though.
But me with my ex-boyfriend too. I'm like making, not to say they're at all lined up to my ex-boyfriend's level of cheating. Trust me, babe. But I think there are situations, and like they're my friends. I genuinely believe they're good people. Obviously, I'm not in relationships with them, so it's different. You know, it's very different. But yeah, I think situationally, and also like it's from what I know of certain situations, it's like when they're very young, all these things happened. It's not like in a very committed, serious adult relationship they're like definitely about to get married or something, you know, and then it happens. It's
right.
Usually some like and pivotal, life-changing
to that experience when we get there of that age, when everyone's married and things
happen. If that's happening,
I mean,
it's heavy.
But still, though, I don't think we would have a perspective of like they're bad people. I think like, although we speak on cheating in a way of like fuck them cheaters and shit, but I just genuinely think that like life gets so heavy in general that like people make mistakes, and we humanize our friends more.
It's a lot easier to forgive a friend who cheated on not my
not
relationship.
Not me. I mean, of course, I'd be like, bro, that's fucked up.
Yeah, bro, that's wrong.
That's wrong.
What's going on?
Y'all have children.
You didn't tell me something was going on in there mentally inside. Anyway, that's
a whole. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there are some cheating where it's less.
Yeah, I mean, I can see like a lot of different people's like scenarios where they're in sort of abusive relationships, or they feel
it's toxic.
Yeah, it's toxic, or they feel undervalued, or whatever it is. And I'm sure,
or they've broken up once or twice and then got back together and then broke up again, and then
lines can be blurry is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And like circumstances can lead people to make mistakes and make really harmful decisions. I will say no one that I know that has cheated has like
wanted that person back.
That, but also like I was gonna say like they don't take it lightly for themselves either.
Oh yeah.
And that's the difference. I feel like serial cheating is a whole other fucking breed.
Right.
I think people who like have cheated and like really feel the repercussions of like what that means for them morally is so different. Like it's so different.
Yeah. I think my experience with other people's perspective of the cheating, because we've never done it ourselves, is like a forgiving type of relationship. And of course, when you're not the person being cheated on, it's so much easier.
So much easier to say, yeah.
But in my experience, I believe both of my exes were serial cheaters.
Same.
It's our truth.
It's our truth.
Okay? I don't know if that's fact, but it's our truth. And it is a completely different ballgame, because it's like, how do you outright admit to someone I've cheated and then continue to do it? Like,
it's almost like I'm gonna put this little like nugget of information in your brain so you can save it for later, so that like when I cheat, you know that there's something
like
wrong with
fault.
Me. It's not your fault, but like I let you
knew.
You already knew. You know what kind of person I was.
But it's also like I think they believe that they're better now, even though they've done no work to be better and not cheat. They just think, this person's better, I wouldn't do it to them.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
And it's like, you're putting yourself in every same situation to cheat on your partner. And also, you're very unhealed emotionally.
Like, there's things you gotta address, babe, at that point. Like, it's not about any of the people you dated. You clearly have something going on. I really want to like interview a serial cheater. I don't know that anyone would admit to that, you know, honestly. Maybe like
it's an anonymous. We have like a blur over there.
Because I genuinely want to know, like, why.
I could hit up my ex if you want.
I know, Sarah. I was like, should I just hit someone up?
No, I actually don't want to talk to them at all.
I don't know if the one that I'm thinking of would want to, like, admit to things like that. But I just feel like it's just, I really want to get into the, I mean, I could on my own time, but I think like hearing it from someone who's done it is so different of like, why do you keep doing that? Like, what is it that, and
I think they genuinely think that they fix themselves and then they put themselves in a position to be triggered again and then they do it.
I genuinely think like people just don't necessarily know the root of the cause. Like from me, from someone who's like has worked on their self-awareness and shit, when I analyze these people from afar, I'm like, you have clear abandonment issues. And that's not something that you've addressed within yourself.
Right.
In a serious matter anyway. And so go to therapy, babe.
Right. Like serial cheaters, you just genuinely have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We're talking about you very maybe mean. Maybe this is hurting, like, to hear all this. But, like, if you know it's an issue and you're working towards it, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
But if you're just sitting there and saying, what are you talking about? Being defensive. Why? I'm not yelling at you. I'm not.
There's
I'm
nothing
just
here.
saying there's probably a problem there and you should probably look and see what's in there.
Yeah. This is, I don't know why this is coming to mind, but last night I watched the documentary The Monster Inside. It's like the one about the McCamey Manor. Have you heard of McCamey Manor? This is kind of going to go off off topic.
I did not like that documentary in general, like the way it was made.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Okay.
On Hulu, right?
Yes.
The guy was weird.
Yeah.
Yes. Why is this coming to
mind? Let me get to it. I was watching it last night, and I mean, I was obsessed with like learning about it when it was on YouTube because it was like a lot of people were coming out. Anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, but that's why I watched it last night because I was like, oh my God, throwback. But they had spoken about how, and maybe that's the part that you don't like, but like at the end of the documentary, not to ruin it for everybody, the victims of, I forgot his fucking name, not important, the guy who created it, who like did the maze, they ended up going to another like experience similar to it, but there was consent and like there was a lot of
they
communication.
Themselves?
Yeah, they basically re-triggered themselves.
That episode.
It wasn't. It's not. It's one whole movie. It's not. Maybe you saw something different.
Mine was 3 episodes. Whatever I watched.
There's a different one, and this one's like based on like the victims. Like the victims are speaking out.
Maybe we did watch the same thing. I have no idea because it sounds right, but I don't know. Whatever.
But it's okay. Anyway, these people basically like go and re-trigger themselves in a safe space. But the psychologist that was on the show talking, she was talking to one of the victims who was like part of the military, and he had like PTSD. And she basically said, like, when you experience something super traumatic, it puts your neurons. I guess your neurons. What is it called?
Neurotransmitters?
Your brain. What the fuck is it called? Basically, your brain chemistry changes, right? And it kind of is addicted to the state of the trauma that you felt. So
you like seek it out.
You seek it out. And so for the man who had PTSD from the military,
he was seeking thrill.
He was seeking thrill because it's the only thing that would regulate his emotions to come back to a place to feel normal. So he went and did the maze, right?
So I see your connection.
My connection is, I think these serial cheaters, have some form of
addiction to the feeling of
feeling either neglected or like whatever it is that they're dealing with. I feel like they continue to seek out that feeling. I honestly think some people are really addicted to like feeling like a bad person. And that comes from the fact of like
worth.
Self-worth.
Yeah.
And so that's my tidbit there.
I could see that. Like not wanting to do the work to heal, but just chasing
the feeling,
whatever that feeling is, feeling of wanting to beg for someone's love back.
Yeah.
Or just the chase in the beginning before you cheat, and you just keep chasing that feeling. There's a lot there.
There's a lot there to unpack, but I do really, and that's where I could like see it in a very clinical way of like, I understand why these people continue to hurt others and hurt themselves in this way, because it's the only way that they feel regulated in their lives. And it's fucking sad.
For some reason, yesterday I was actually thinking about my ex's like new girlfriend. I have no idea what her name is, what she looks like. I just know he has a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I wonder if there's things she knows. Like, I feel like there's things people have a right to know when you're in a relationship with someone. Because I remember I found something out. And then I asked him, would you have told me if I didn't find it out just by chance? And he was like, no. He was very adamant, like, no, I would never tell you. And I'm like, if I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with you,
that's like pieces of information that I should know about.
That I deserve to know.
I
understand that it's scary information to share with someone.
Yeah.
That they care about. But like, the right person will stay.
It's also like, you clearly see it as a red flag because you still have some sort of
like you have nothing to say either after. You admit whatever it is, because like
the self-improvement's not there, babe.
Yeah, because you have to say like, and you know what, that was a blank experience, I learned X from that experience, I'm moving on. But no, it was just kind of like, that was fucked up. I'm like, what? So anyways, I randomly was thinking like, I wonder if his new partner knows. Like, that's crazy.
Wait, that's so interesting.
Which I would never ever
reach out
because that is just too much fucking work, 1,
but also like,
and 2, not my business, 3, energetically I don't need to be putting myself
no ties there
into that. But it was an interesting fleeting thought.
That's an interesting thought, because when I think about the whole situation there, it's also kind of like, how do you even explain yourself? Because it's like, even from the information, like from the standpoint of you, like of what you walked into, and like the things that he told you about the last person he was with,
right? You
took that, right? And then you were with him for a while, and then he cheated on you. So explaining the story to that girl has to go, he has to run through 2 other women he was with that he like
before he can
disrespected. You get what I'm saying?
Before he can even tell
the story.
Well, kind of. I mean, they're all combined,
right?
Like chronologically, anyway.
But you see what I'm saying? Like he would have to admit to too much. Not to say that he shouldn't, but like clearly you have a lot to work on.
I hope he has, because that girl deserves to know what she's getting herself into. And I think that's why when I was with my ex, I had people messaging me being like, hey, just letting you know, I knew him and was not it. He sucks. And I was like, who the fuck are you? Dude. Like, how do you have my number? What? You're literally in a different state, and I've never met you.
I'll never forget that. That's so wild.
Anyways, but
yeah,
all in due time though, because I didn't even listen to that text, and things still turned out the way they did. And if things are meant to be for them,
then they will
be.
Yeah.
And I hope that's the case, because everyone deserves happiness. But serial cheating.
Yeah. Like we just said earlier, I think that's where the case is different for like our experiences is like, these people were serial cheaters. There wasn't a difference between just like a one-time thing. I don't really know what that looks like, so I can't really speak on someone who's just cheated once and being with somebody that has done that.
Like, and you stayed, you mean? Or just in general, like being with someone and they're like, hey, I cheated once.
Yeah, that. So like,
yeah,
the difference there is so apparent to me. And like, I think I would feel differently, to be honest, if it was like a one-time thing and it was a clear one-time thing. Maybe they were like 18 and like now they're fucking 20 something. You know what I mean? I feel like it's different.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But like, yeah, but also like for us, it also was like we were part of the story where it was becoming a serial cheating. Also, you get what I'm saying?
Like, yes,
we're part of that
journey for them. You're welcome to be a stepping stone in the cheated on her.
Cheated on her.
On her. Also, my first boyfriend still has, like, I have no proof, I guess, that he cheated, but, like, that motherfucker's a serial cheater. I know it.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess I don't know if he cheated on the girlfriend after me, actually, to be fair.
Well, she wouldn't know either, probably.
You know what? He was too good at it.
He's really good at hiding it.
But he wasn't. But he was, you know?
Maybe
he got better after me.
Maybe.
Not to, like, say that he did, because I'm not trying to make that anyone's story, that they got cheated on.
No.
But, yeah, serial cheating, all in all, we're just trying to say, like, that's a whole nother issue. And there's room for, like, we're saying, the other people we know that have been on the cheating side.
Yeah.
It's a very big difference in forgiveness and moving forward in that way.
Yeah.
As being a cheater. I can't even imagine. Honestly, I can't imagine the guilt. Even if it's a one-time thing. And you like, genuinely, that would eat me up. But also, we all deserve to move forward and be happy with someone else.
Yeah.
Even if you're a serial cheater. Like, as long as you're moving on from that, you deserve happiness.
Yeah. I guess, like, going back to the McKamey Manor shit. And, like, talking about how, like, they went into a safe space to, like, basically undo the harm that was done to them. Mm-hmm. I wonder if, like, for cheaters, then, like, them being with a person who's, like, a safe space, not to cheat, but to, like, verbally communicate the times in which that they are feeling certain things and being able to work through that versus just, like, having someone who's going to be reactive and be like, fuck you for having, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I would say I was probably that safe space for my second boyfriend because I wasn't, like, super traumatized by my first boyfriend in terms of cheating.
Yeah, because it was unknown still.
We weren't sure, you know, but now it's pretty bad. But, like, I feel like it's more so on the cheater to say, hey, I'm going to be open and honest about these feelings. But instead they're like, what are you talking about? I don't have those feelings. I don't know who that is. I'm totally fine. I'm not self-sabotaging. Like, they just ignore it. But I agree. Like, if you're with someone, you need to be with someone who is, like, okay with those triggers. And being with someone who has really bad trust issues or has been cheated on many times probably isn't the person for a serial cheater.
Unless, like, you're healed from it and then, like...
But even then, like, actively talking about how they want to cheat.
But
in general,
but
you
it's...
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which we want to talk about
a little bit more.
Dating after infidelity as well as being in a relationship. So, like, if you're kind of looking for specifics on that,
it's coming up.
Keep your eyes out. Yeah,
not to get too into, like, that conversation because we'll get into it. But, like, I can see how that could also be similar of a healing process to be with someone who's trying to get over a serial cheating habit, I guess, and being a person who has been cheated on, where, like, then the communication there can really, like, heal each person because it's like...
I mean, it could,
you know what I mean?
That,
I could see it could be really triggering though, as well. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, a person has to be more so willing to have those conversations.
Nothing else, no kids, good jobs. There should be no other stressor other than you guys figuring this out.
It's very heavy, but I think it's possible, and I think I don't think everyone should be, like, I don't know if the right word is, like, ostracized.
Castrated.
Oh, maybe so.
I don't think everyone should be castrated.
I don't think everyone should be ostracized for
cheating,
for, like, wanting to be different than the habit that they created. And
there's also, like, sex addiction issues that could be part of it too. That's
absolutely,
like
that's a whole other can of worms,
which, like, I have no idea about, so I won't even comment on.
When speaking about, like, people who, like, I guess, what's the other perspective? So we have the cheater perspective. So then, like, the person who then, like, is a helping factor in cheating.
Yeah, the person, like,
what is that perspective like? Like, I don't know if you've ever been in that position.
I have not.
I have.
We could talk about that after. I do have, like, one, maybe.
Okay. I feel like I have. I feel like we've spoken about it before, probably in our last cheating episode. But a big part of, like, my experience with a cheater is like also being kind of like morphed and manipulated into being part of the cheating,
to being the other woman,
right? Mm-hmm. And from that perspective, it's very tough because I feel like most of the time, and this is not everyone's story, some people could just like know that someone's cheating and they're fine with it, like I don't fucking know. But I think for the most part, most people who end up in that position don't know that they're being put in that position, which feels super like violating in my opinion. Like it's a choice that you didn't even decide to fucking make, and now you're part of a story that hurts someone else, and like that's so fucking
and
tough.
I feel like when it's like a guy cheating, in most scenarios the woman is like asking like, do you have a girlfriend? Are you sure you don't have a girlfriend? Like,
oh, for sure.
Like,
no,
are you
for sure.
sure you don't have a girlfriend?
Me being like, I thought like, you know, things were fine, and then come to find, oh, you have a girlfriend. We can't be speaking anymore. And they're like, no, we're over.
It's the manipulation.
It's the tactics. You know,
like, no, it is over.
It's over already. I just, you know, I'm breaking it to her still, or like shit like that. I mean, I was so young and impressionable. It's so different.
But also, like, there's married men
doing these things.
To grown women.
It's very easy to be convinced that somebody else's relationship is over, because life is messy and complications happen with like endings of things. That's so like some people's like breakups are so like cut clean and dry, but like others have a lot of attachments, you know, with that. Like some people could be living together, and that's such a fucking tricky situation. I don't know, that's not my story, but like I'm just saying like it could be very easy to fall into the trap of like they're over, but like there's some things that they're figuring out,
like logistics,
and like you think that you start to like rationalize those things in your brain, and then you kind of just end up in the role of the other woman.
I mean, there's even like the one night stand type cheating though, where
that too.
It's like in my scenario, the hey girly, she just like random, like it was a one time thing. He was probably like, he was messaging her and talking to her as if he was single. But
and that's also like not a one night stand to me though, because that's like there's a built of like communication and relationship.
Hard Eyes in her DMs was pretty much the depth of their relationship until the night he did it.
Oh
yeah, he was just sending fire emojis and being like,
got it,
you're hot. I don't even know if he said that, but like
Hard Eyes, it was just like, come over.
And then that night it was like, I'm coming over, what are you doing right now?
How did he know where she lived?
He just knew she lived in but he didn't.
Leave it out.
My bad. He just knew where she lived, and then she obviously like sent the details. She was like, wait, what? Like it was, I mean, like if I was a single girl, it was it was like a Sunday though, I don't know. And a guy hit me up and was like, we're going out tonight. I'd be like, no, I'm tired.
There was no other communication
other than Hard Eyes and like maybe a happy birthday, you look beautiful or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, not really, like, conversations. Yeah. So, anyways, but, like...
I'm sorry, like, not to shade anyone.
Okay. But...
not to shade anyone. It just feels...
like, oh...
just, like, kind of, how did you get there? You know, like how...
Well...
I'm not even gonna analyze her story, because it's just... how did we...
It's giving toxic era. She was in her toxic era.
Yeah, giving toxic era.
She was giving her that's fine.
But bringing some stranger into your home?
Well, they went to high school together or something.
So there was some history, is what I'm trying to say.
He went to all-boys school, though, so, like...
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, they were at school together. Like, they went to rival high school, like, or whatever.
But, like, they had mutual friends.
Yeah. Like,
they saw each other probably at parties.
I don't think that much, but...
Oh.
You know, it's, like, not really a history, but, like...
It's just
that's, like... It's, like, me knowing one of your friends and being like, yeah, I know of them.
And they, like, sent you a bunch of heart eye emojis. And
right.
then they're like, hey, I'm coming over. And
exactly.
Like, yes.
And I said, yes, come over.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds a little fucking delulu. That's another thing.
Maybe they hooked up in high school. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I think
maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
I wouldn't know that.
We don't know the information. Anyway, moving on. What was your role in?
Oh, I mean, like, there was this dude I can't even tell you like the whole story on the podcast. I feel like it's
Patreon.
Messy. It's too messy.
Guys, we just keep joking about wanting to start a Patreon, but literally I would tell my deepest, darkest stories on the Patreon if you want to pay for them.
I'll just give you a synopsis. I asked this guy multiple times if he had a girlfriend. Next day, things were adding up. I think he had a girlfriend. That's all I'm gonna say. And then we never spoke.
And you were kind of like the one night stand type vibe.
That's what it would have been, yes. Right. And it's just like what am I supposed to, I don't have any commitments to you in your relationship, if there even is one.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah.
But also, that girlie probably never found out anything.
I mean,
you say kudos to him?
I said kudos to her. Oh. Like, she doesn't have to know. But I think people like that are doing that in their relationships will do it again. It doesn't sound like like me reaching out to my ex's new girl. Like, it's pointless. That same trip, though, remember being at the fucking Caesar's Palace pool?
Yeah.
And those married-ass men.
Disgusting.
All willing to cheat on their wives.
Like, if one of us had been like, where's your room? Game over. They would have been like, let's go.
Let's go.
Ew. I literally don't want to get married after that. That was frightening.
Yeah, I don't know.
That...
You have to get someone who's, like, obsessed with you.
Not like them.
Not like them, though.
Not like them. That's who I need. Not them.
Not them.
Not them. Anyways.
Like, shout out to our Vegas episode.
Shout out to Vegas if you want to hear the details of dirty men in Vegas. And just how much fun we had.
I want to do it again.
How did those
so fun?
Like, gross men, but, like, it was so fun.
Because it's fun to just, like, make fun of them in front of their face. You
Honestly.
know what I mean? It's like, you guys are fucking ridiculous. Like, your friend's belligerent. Get the fuck out of my face. It kind of got there.
It did. No,
it was kind of funny. Anyway.
Oh.
Hopefully their kids are doing okay.
Hopefully their kids are well.
The perspective of someone being on the other side of the cheating, where they're the ones, I don't want to say helping, but I don't want to say, like, some people don't know that they're helping. They're an accomplice to the
crime.
The crime. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, like,
it could get really convoluted there.
Well, accomplice, unknowing, unwilling. Well, unwilling to accomplice to cheating. Like, willing to kiss or whatever the fuck, flirt.
I almost, like, correlate that situation, because I called it violating. I almost correlate that situation with, like, not being told that you have an STD. Like, that's almost similar to me, because I'm like, I don't want to be a part of something.
Especially, like, if you're cheating on your girlfriend, boyfriend multiple times with other people.
Like, I'm good. No thanks. Like, I think it's really gross.
Yeah, because it is like, what is your sexual history then?
I don't know. It's just weird.
It is violating.
I think it's, like, emotionally violating.
It could be physical too.
Physical too, but I think I think about it as emotional violation, like, where I'm not making a consensual decision because I don't know all of the information available.
Yeah, but I guess, like, sometimes you don't ask. Sometimes you don't ask, and then it's like a wash. You know, it's like, well, girl, you didn't ask.
You didn't ask.
That's bad though. No, you gotta say if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend. Like, that's point blank. You can't just.
Would you ask Jacob Elordi
if he had a girlfriend?
You wouldn't. Don't lie.
I would know. He's famous.
Would you ignore it?
Actually, I wouldn't know, maybe. Would I what?
Would you ignore it?
It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood, babe.
Hollywood, babes. Everyone has multiple people.
I'd be like, I'm just his other girlfriend. He's polygamous. Y'all didn't know that?
He's just looking for another wife.
I'm like, oh, it's gonna work out. And then he breaks with it, and then I'm gonna keep him? No. See, I could never actually be in a... At that point, then I'd be like, okay, relationship's over, but fun. Fun's in. Toxic era. I don't
He's part of your bingo card. The Hollywood bingo card.
Hollywood bingo card. Ooh. Anyways, I mean, do what you gotta do. Do what you're doing out there. Just live with your choices and accept the consequences.
Yeah.
On our end, which I think we will talk more about in the moving forward type of episodes about dating and being in a relationship, it definitely leaves some cute little scars.
A little bit.
That you have to heal, and that's okay. maybe my personality got better because of those things.
It's character development, babe.
Yeah. My character's developed. I'm done now. Can we
not do that again?
Can we be good with that? So yeah, hopefully you guys got some new information on cheating and our feelings about it, because there's a lot to be said about cheating.
It's like a topic I could like unravel for days.
And then it wouldn't make sense. So we're trying to chop it up for you. We're trying to give you nuggets of information. Hopefully this was like cute
and short ish. Anyway, we'll catch you guys in glowing hour. Thank you for being here and listening or watching.
Yes.
I don't know what you're doing, but thank you for just being here. Go ahead and share our podcast with somebody you know or on your socials. That'd be freaking amazing. And leave us a review if you can. A little rating's cute too. Yeah, that's it. See you in glowing hour. There's a cat scratching the door.
If you can hear my cat scratching the door, I'm so sorry. But anyways, yeah. Bye.
Bye.